easy open.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the September 15th meeting of Murrysville Council to order. Roll call, please.
Mr. McKenna,
Here.
Mr. Spadaro,
Here.
Ms. Brockway, Dr. Lee Corns,
Here.
Mr. Stepanovich,
Here.
Mr. Dice, Mr. Case,
Here.
Mayor Sinan.
All right. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Unlisted amendments. We have one. It's going to be under 13, listed as 13D. That's an emergency amendment to the intermunicipal service agreement. All in favor, actually, yeah, all in favor to the amendment to the agenda with the newly listed amendment, say aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Consent calendar items. Any questions, concerns about the accounts payable, investments, and transfers, or the September 1st meeting minutes?
Not here.
Nothing? Okay, again, all in favor of the consent calendar items, please say aye.
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 Opposed? All right. Comments by Mayor Simon.
Thanks, Mr. Case. While Jim's getting the slides up, I've added an announcement that's not, we don't have a slide for. It just came to my attention that our Westmoreland Conservancy is celebrating their 30th year this year. And during the course of that time, they've developed 9 reserves, 605 acres of preserved land for us. It's an all-volunteer organization committed to conservation, and it's funded completely by donations. And I think the fairest way to have you do it is look at their website, westmorelandconservancy.org, because I can't do justice for everything they've done, and take the time to look at it, because we really appreciate what they've done for this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, you got a slide? No slide? Okay.
Go ahead.
I would just have a couple. Glassville Recycling Reminder Pop-Up Event this Saturday, September 18th, at the Veterans Field, 4200 Sardis Road, from 9 to 2. It's sponsored by the Municipality and Republic Service. Residents are also encouraged to support the Loaves and Fishes Emergency Food Pantry by donating non-perishable food items. Food pantry volunteers will be at the pavilion accepting drive-through donations during those hours. Again, this Saturday, bring your glass. That's bottles and jars and things like that, not mirrors and anything else you can find in the house. The other item we have for tonight is the 10th Annual Heritage Festival. It's at the Historic Turnpike Toll House. Free parking is at 5337 Triangle Lane. It again is Saturday, September 18th, 11 to 5. Take a stroll through time, games, and activities for children. For more info, murrysvillehistory.com or call Jessica at 724-516-0126. And that concludes my comments for tonight. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mayor. Comments by our Chief Administrator.
I just follow up on the one comment of the mayor. If the residents haven't had an opportunity to go through that schoolhouse, you should really go down and take a look at it. It's very impressive what they did there. A couple of things, Mr. President. Now, the Westmoreland Conservation District is having a dinner on October 6th. As you recall, last year, the municipality of Murrysville was the first municipality identified by the Conservation District as the Conservation Award winner for the year. They didn't have the event last year, so they will be identifying this year's winner and also recognizing Murrysville. If any council would like to attend, please let me know, and we'll make the reservations. Also, last week met with Kinetics, which was formerly Windstream, to explore possibilities about increasing broadband availability and speeds here in the municipality as part of the American Rescue Act, and I've had some discussions with the county towards that end because they have the same commitment for the same funds. So I will continue to update council as we proceed with that. And finally, I went to the State of the Municipalities, Murrysville event last week, sponsored by the Community Development Corporation. Well attended. We had several of our local officials there and state officials. So it was a nice event. That's all I have, Mr. President. Oh, and I'll be on vacation next week.
Okay, enjoy.
Thanks.
Community input. Anyone signed up this evening? All right, we have a few folks. Starting us off this evening, Gail Shoemaker. If you could, as you come to the microphone, please mention your name and address for the record.
My name is Gail Shoemaker, and I live at 4803 Hobaugh Avenue, Murrysville. Just, I wasn't sure how to, never done this. We live in the municipality of Murrysville. We've been here for 25 years. And we have a neighbor that actually has a yard that actually is a disgrace to our development. And I didn't know how to handle that or how to bring that to anybody's attention. I have talked to Mr. Steele, and he's followed up, and it's just, I've had a lot of our neighbors come to me as well and say something to me, and we just haven't done anything about it. I don't know what can be done.
When you talk about it, you said a disgrace, in what sense? Tall
Well,
grass, cars in the yard, that type
All
of
kinds
thing?
of junk in the yard. There's all kinds of totes in the yard. There's I don't know whether you want to call it an RV or a trailer. It looks like a trailer you need to put on a campsite. I mean, for the longest time, it was in their driveway, and they just moved it from their driveway to the side of their house.
No, I understand.
Makes no sense to me.
What is the address of the neighbor, do you know?
4812, right across from my front door.
So 4812 Hobaugh, ma'am?
Is that, go ahead.
The occupant of that address has been cited. He has 30 days to clean the mess up, and if not, then citation will be filed with the magistrate. Typically, the magistrate gives them another 30 days to clean it up, and it's a process. You just have to be patient. We've initiated the actions. We initiated it, I think it was the end of August, against that individual. The mobile home's a little more problematic. His front yard is actually Hobaugh. So where he moved it from his driveway, which was the side yard, to in front of his front door, there's not a whole lot we can do about that. You're not permitted to have recreational vehicles in the side of front yard.
Okay.
The front yard is 30 feet from his building line out, and he's got that snugged in there, so he's not in violation. We don't have anything that regulates individuals from parking recreational vehicles as long as they're not in the side of front yard.
Are they allowed to use them as they're parked on there? Because I know there's been electricity, and I think what worried me the most is when we work in our front yard a lot, and they had gas cans you could see inside.
Well, again, we don't have the ability to go in and look at the facility. If there's occupancy in there other than kids spending a weekend
Right.
or overnight, then yes, there's something we can do about that. But that's going to be very hard to prove unless we get some support from the neighbors up there.
I think you'll have it.
Okay. Well, I would encourage you to continue to work with Josh. He's
Yes.
very diligent about this, and we'll do the best that we can here.
Thank you, Mr. Mason.
You're welcome.
Okay. If I can read this correctly, is Matthew, is it Ackman?
My name is Matthew Ackman, 4211 Bulltown Road. Ladies and gentlemen of the council, thank you again for hearing me. I've come many times, almost like a canary in a mine, warning of dangerous overreaches of the federal government. And then this past Thursday, the President of the United States gave a speech threatening people who are unvaccinated, who work for a company of over 100 employees, that they're going to be required to get this vaccine, or they're going to make the company force the employees to get this vaccine. And he used several threatening terms that you had never ever heard of a president talking to law-abiding citizens. And so I happen to work for a company that has over 100 employees. So now this is coming to my daily life of this. So ultimately, I am asking the city of Murrysville, we need to operate in past laws, ordinances, what have you, that will protect citizens from an overarching government, specifically banning mask mandates and banning vaccine mandates. That's what I ask of the council, because everything that's coming from, well, I can't say everything, but so much of what's coming from these federal government and these agencies are actually based on lies. And Mr. Morrison, I sent you an email. I don't know if you got it. Okay. It was just to summarize. There's a video of Dr. Fauci back in 2019 telling somebody not to wear masks, that we need to, don't smoke, work out, eat healthy, and that's what you need to do during his term was a contagious outbreak. And if you think about that, what we did do, we shut down gyms, we locked down everybody, we masked everybody up, and we prevented good sleep by introducing anxiety towards, both adults and children alike. I just think that it's very important that we don't count on the state, we don't count on the federal government to keep us safe during this time, but that we start taking measures to keep our citizens safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to liaison comments and committee reports. Mac, we'll start with you this evening.
All right. Sorry, let me grab what I had here. Some of the things that we were working on, we actually did meet yesterday for the Parks and Recreation Committee. One of the things we're really targeting that I'd like to reach out to the community to please give any input that you have in the community parks within some of the smaller neighborhoods. We've been having the meetings while the weather's still nice at some of these parks like Pedora Park, Kovalchik Park, and actually going there so we can see what the facilities look like, what things are. And some of those are up for being redone, and we'd love to get the input of the people that actually use that park before we go and make any changes to it or improve it in any way. So anyone that uses any parks in your neighborhoods, please come and reach out to Jim or to myself or to any of the staff here at the municipality so that we can kind of steer it in the direction of those that are using it. So we're going to kind of work with each small neighborhood on those. A couple things coming up is the qualified hunters for upcoming season of deer management program. Obviously the concert in the park seemed to go over very well, had great feedback from that, so that was something that they had worked on and done. We just finished the playground program, ended on August 6th. They averaged about 20 children per day. Bear Hollow and Murrysville Park were both equally enjoyed, so it seemed like using those two parks for that was very successful. Let me see, the farmers market has gone off very well this year, so we're going to continue that. A couple of upcoming things to remind everyone of is the Oktoberfest that the Rotary puts on is September 25th.
in conjunction with the Rotary. It's the second annual Oktoberfest. It'll feature local restaurants with German fare, beer vendors, Lederhosen contest, and at the same time, admission at the door. They're also going to have a capacity limit for that, so make sure you buy your tickets if you plan on going to that. The other two upcoming things are the senior Halloween Kids at the Community Center, October 29th. Each year, the rec department and staff provides a Halloween party for the seniors at the community center. We'll have a catered lunch and entertainment that'll be provided. Trick or treat on the trail was very successful last year. That is going to get even bigger this year. We're real excited for it. So that will be October 30th. And with the local businesses and organizations, they're going to offer treats. The children do need to pre-register for their costume hike along the trail. And the Rotary, again, will provide a photo booth for that. So that's about it.
Okay, thank you. Jamie?
I have nothing to report.
Tony?
Well, the Medic One, they meet tomorrow night, but I'd like to give Medic One a shout out tonight. I attended the memorial at Export for 9/11, and the mayor was there also. I think we were the only ones that were there for that, beside the crowd. But they had 4 emergencies, 4, at one time. It was unbelievable the way they handled it. The first one started with one of the Boy Scouts who passed out, and I guess he had to be taken to the hospital. And while he was laying there, they went up to tell his mother, who was working at the Italian club, who ran down the street, fell in the street, and smashed her face up because she had a heart attack while she was coming down to see her son. She flatlined, I think, twice there, am I right?
Yeah.
And I think she's in a coma now at the hospital. Now, while they're taking care of her, we had another heart attack at the senior home up there in Export, and another emergency was another kid somewhere else. And I just can't compliment them enough the way they handled everything there. Fortunately, they had a lot of trucks, they had a lot of ambulances, a lot of medics and police, and everybody helped each other. They did a great job, and I just wanted to let everybody know who doesn't know about that, because it never hit the papers or anything. But it was really something to see Medic One in action, so I'd like to compliment them in front of the council.
That's great.
Thank you.
Okay. There was a meeting of the Planning Commission last night. There was a representative, an engineering representative from Redstone Highlands, and he presented a plan for a 47 lots, I think it's 47 or 49, of single-family homes that would be in context of a PRD that's required, and is looking for input from the municipality as to whether the ordinances will be met. It was also mentioned by the municipality that there will be an escrow account established to cover the costs of any reviewing that's going to be done. Ultimately, what Redstone is looking to do is to build 2 apartment complexes and a clubhouse similar to the apartment complexes that are in existence, with the primary entrance being from Klein Hollow. Secondly, there was a representative from Bowser, the Bowser Auto Company, with respect to an auto body shop located in what used to be 84 Lumber and, as we knew, Creative Bus. And they're going to, looking to build a auto body facility there. Some of the facts of the auto body are as follows. They're looking to have 11 employees. There will be no outside parking of the autos. All would be inside. Within the inside, they're going to have a metal repair area, 2 paint booths, a straightening rack, frame straightening rack, and a detailing area. There were also in attendance a representative from PPG Paints. One significant thing I thought was that they will be using water-based paints. And then also there was a representative from the paint booth company itself. And he went on to indicate that the water that's used in their painting is filtered twice coming into the facility to have, very clean water you mix to be the paint, but also there's two filterings at the exit. And the plan was approved with several conditions, one being all vehicles will be stored inside, and there will be also 2 additional parking spaces to meet the requirements. And that's it.
Thank you. And I have nothing to report. So moving on to our workshop items, looks like we have nothing under our workshop items. So that takes us to our first action item, 13A. Can we have a motion for 13A, please?
I'd like to consider appointment of Donald McMahon to the Library Board to fill an unexpired term ending December 31st, 2021.
Second the motion.
All right, I know a few of the folks were there for at the interview. Do you have any other any comments, questions? I know this was discussed previously.
No.
Okay. And if there's no other thoughts, questions, concerns, we have a roll call, please.
Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Mr. Spadaro?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Corns?
Yes.
Mr. Stepanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes. Okay. I guess we have to call Mr. McMahon and let him know when the next meeting occurs. All right. Moving on to 13B. Can we have a motion for 13B, please?
Make a motion to consider appointing Hoffman Boarding Kennels a dog control officer for the Municipality of Murrysville for a 2-term limit, for 2 terms.
For the term of 2022 to 2024, maybe?
Oh,
Yeah.
Maybe?
it just said 2 terms.
No, it doesn't say that. You're right. I'm just making it up. I'm just guessing.
For a 2-year term. I was like, I was reading that, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Dog control officer for the Municipality of Murrysville for a 2-year term.
Second the motion.
This is the normal contract that we get from Hoffman every year. Why they don't make the amendments that we make every year is beyond me, but all the comments that I have in notes are the things that we have requested be in our contracts for probably the last 10 years. So I did the same in this agreement, and like council to approve it, we'll send it to them, and I'm pretty sure they'll sign it and send it back.
And my understanding was that, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I thought we made changes maybe
Yes,
4
we
years
did.
ago or so.
It's been longer than that.
Has it been
Maybe
longer?
6 years.
Yeah, I bet 6 years.
If you all recall, we went through a rather lengthy discussion and exercise
Oh, yeah.
with Hoffman.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah. And there's still no other option,
And
correct?
and
Really?
That's correct, including a personal visit to Mr. Hoffman's kennels.
Yeah. And have we had any new major complaints or any complaints at all in the last?
You know what, for some reason, they've come on my Facebook. I don't know why, but it's very positive comments. So I kind of didn't block them because I thought, well, if there were negative ones, I would see those too.
Well, it couldn't have gone much worse, so.
Yeah. It seems that everyone's happy and satisfied with them, so.
Good.
Hope it stays that way then. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank goodness for electric fences.
Amen.
Yes. Okay, can we have roll call on 13B, please?
Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Mr. Spadaro?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Corns?
Yes.
Mr. Stepanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes. Okay. Can we please have a motion for 13C?
A motion to consider approval of the sale of 2 police motorcycles, mechanics plus towing and transport buyer in the amount of $19,000, $19,900.
Second.
If you recall, in July, you authorized the advertising of the sale of the vehicles. It took a little bit of time to generate interest. Fortunately, the estimate on the value of the vehicles was between 12 and 15,000, so we were pleased to get the 19,900 for it. The police at a future meeting will make a presentation to consider the purchase of a license plate reader with these proceeds, and there'll be more to come on that.
Okay. Any questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Mr. Spadaro?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Corns?
Yes.
Mr. Stepanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes. Okay. Can we have a motion for 13D, please?
Like to,
No, we don't have the script, do we?
Okay,
Uh,
yeah,
so
it's,
I got it.
it's on, it was added to Dropbox. It was
Okay.
added to the agenda later.
like to make a motion for an emergency amendment to the intermunicipal service agreement, which provides for sanitary sewer service to 39 properties in the Pockettah watershed.
Second.
As outlined in the Pockettah Creek, or the briefing, if you recall, back in 2018, we executed an agreement with Washington Township, the Franklin Township Municipal Sewer Authority, Big Kiski, which is the treatment plant in that watershed up there, to provide an opportunity for 39 Murrysville properties to enter into the Washington Township sanitary sewer system. This particular individual, the Hollerans, have a property adjacent to the 39 that were identified. Their septic system has failed. They really have no other alternative but to get into the system. Since the agreement had identified only those 39 properties, the agreement has to be amended to include them so that they may tie into the existing system.
Does this have to be, would this also has to be approved by Washington and,
Yes, the FTMSA, the Municipal Authority of Washington Township, Murrysville, Township of Washington, and Kiski Authority all have to agree.
would there, I guess, could we foresee any reason that they wouldn't want to?
No, I was advised by the solicitor for the Sewer Authority in Washington Township that they're all approving it this month.
Okay, great. Any other questions?
No.
All right, roll call, please.
Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Mr. Spadaro?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Corns?
Yes.
Mr. Stepanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes. Okay. Moving on to community development. Can we have a motion for 14A, please?
Like to consider authorization to advertise ordinance number 1047-21, an ordinance accepting a stormwater easement in the Bianca Rose plan of lots.
Second.
Okay.
If you recall, last month we accepted the streets in Bianca Rose, but staff had advised that we would not, should not accept the stormwater system because there was stormwater lines in areas that didn't have easements, which prevented us in the future to access those for maintenance. They've since secured those easements necessary, and this provides for the acceptance of that easement. I believe at a future meeting, there will be petitioning for acceptance of the storm sewer system once this is done.
Okay.
Okay.
Anything?
No questions.
Nothing?
Nope.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Mr. Spadaro?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Corns?
Yes.
Mr. Stepanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes. Okay. Under engineering, can we have a motion for 15A?
Make a motion to consider reduction of sequestered fund amount being held for the required improvements at the Bella Melise development in the amount of $108,872.70.
Second the motion.
The Bella Melise plan is the development up off of School Road on the old airport property. They've moved along with the development of that facility and have requested the reduction of the bond. It has been inspected, and recommendation is to accept the request for a reduction in the bond.
Jim, when that was first, when they broke ground on that, wasn't there an issue of, I'm trying to recall what it was, of water going off the backside into the existing
The
neighborhood?
property lays from School Road back into Franklin, and there had to be certain stormwater improvements made to those back lots. There have been several lots up there sold, but they're still working on the stormwater management there for those back lots.
Okay, so it'll be addressed on an individual
That's correct.
homeowner basis? Okay.
Those lots are selling for $250,000 up there.
Nice piece of ground.
Wow. How large are the lots?
Pardon me?
How large are the lots?
I would say probably no more than an acre,
Yeah,
probably less.
yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot. All right. We have a roll call for 15A, please.
Mr. McKenna?
Yes.
Mr. Spadaro?
Yes.
Dr. Lee Corns?
Yes.
Mr. Stepanovich?
Yes.
Mr. Case?
Yes. Okay. All right, moving on to, looks like we have nothing under Public Works and Parks. Do we have any old business we'd like to address? Okay. New business?
We got an applicant for the zoning hearing board, so there'll be an interview set up for next meeting.
Okay. All right, looks like tonight we do have an executive session, legal, for a legal and a personnel discussion issue.
I don't believe that there's going to be action coming out, but there may be.
Okay. Okay, well then we will be, with nothing else, looks like we'll be adjourning to our executive session.
But I'll take care of it if we come back on. You can go ahead and go.